Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is me with Naruto's Isshin Kurosaki's reincarnation. Isshin Kurosaki is the father of Ichigo, if you didn't know that. And spoilers for this weren't that far into Bleach, Isshin is the Soul Reaper. I believe he's also captain of the 13th or 10th squad. All I remember is that he took over he was in charge of Toshiro's squad before Toshiro. So yeah. Because when he ran Toshiro's squad, Toshiro was the third seat, Rangeki was lieutenant, but Toshiro was the one to become captain either way. So, based on this one, how it would go. Naruto was born with black hair. As this one, Minato would have black hair, and Minato is actually the son of the, feudal lord. He's not part of the Namikaze clan. He's part of, whatever clan in the feudal lord's part of. And due to Minato carrying the last name, but also wanting to become a shinobi, and the feudal lord thinking that it'd be better for him to become a shinobi, Minato got attacked a lot, leading to him actually having to, be a lot stronger to defend himself for the sake of part of his family, and so that he wouldn't get abducted and held for ransom. So Minato got strong out of necessity, not because he was a prodigy. Being a prodigy was hopeful, sure, but he usually wanted to be strong because of necessity for his family. And then eventually, when he got married to Kushina, he eventually started naming his kid, his mother's last name being Kurosaki, as no one really knows his wife's last name, not his wife, his mom's last name. And no one knows his mom's last name because his mom's dead. So yeah. And Naruto eventually is given over to, the feudal lord when Minato Kushina had died. And, feudal lord doesn't know what to do with Naruto, but he was told that Naruto was the Turkey of the Nine Tails. So he would raise Naruto for a few years, till Naruto's roughly around 5 years old. But then Naruto was sent to the Shinobi Temple. And there's where he'd train. And everyone there being so strict, calm, and everything, Naruto strives to not be like them. He strives to be different, so he'd be very energetic, goofy, loud, even a little bit perverted. But also, he does act a bit lazy and carefree when he wants to. And this story would start when Naruto is 16. So, hold up. So the story would start when Naruto is 16 years old. But at the age of 16, he learned how to use a sword. The monks there they're ninja monks, they don't really know how to fight. A few of them are from Land Iron. And Naruto did have interest in samurai, so he did learn, basically, kind of find a sword, learn how to use it. It was just a natural prodigy with the sword. And basically, in the monk area, is something called the Gote 13. They were the best sword users. And no, it was not by rank. It was honestly just, by whoever followed you. And Naruto placed, basically, the number was Isshin. Naruto being pretty young, but also, being a Jinchuriki, you'd have the 10th most followers out of the 13, but still, Naruto doesn't have many followers, but he's still the strongest out of most of the captains. Unfortunately, I can beat him currently is Shiriku, so, yeah. And Shiriku can really beat Naruto without using the Buddha technique. Hold it up. Sorry, a cricket from my chameleon's cage got out. I didn't realize I didn't close it all the way. So I threw it back in there. Alright. So Naruto basically is raised as, the 10th captain of the Gote 13. The person who beat him currently is Chiriku, despite Naruto being, Naruto can only counter Chiriku's Buddha, as Naruto isn't exactly the best in terms of reflexes, but Naruto can hold out pretty long in terms of pain endurance, in terms of just, his pain tolerance. I'd say his pain tolerance would probably last maybe being impaled by like a Susanoo. It's like his maximum pain tolerance. But also his maximum strength output happens to be destroying a Susanoo. So, yeah. Alright, so we move on now, basically, to... Yeah. So we move on now, basically, to just Team 7. And not Team 7, but to Naruto taking graduation test in Konoha. So, that's what they would do in Konoha. Naruto sent to Konoha to do it, as Asuma would escort Naruto there. And Naruto is extremely big for being his age. But, yeah. As Naruto is 16 years old, but he's also almost 6'2". So, yeah. He's also about as big as Asuma is. Probably a little bit smaller, but he's about the same size as Asuma. So with this, as they get to Konoha, Naruto would take the graduation test pretty easily. As Naruto does, he's in the middle of learning the Buddha technique that Chiriku would use, but Naruto had achieved a different kind of power, being, spiritual pressure. And this is basically a gift from the Buddha himself, this is basically just for Naruto trying to dedicate his life to achieving that ability. But the Nine Tails was blocking Naruto off from doing it, so Naruto got a blessing from the Buddha, being spiritual pressure. And Naruto would use that for his power. And with this, we go on now to basically just Naruto taking the graduation test. In Naruto's graduation test, basically, the test would basically consist of the same kind of stuff as in Kanon, but also chakra control. But Naruto is an ace at everything he does. He's stronger than a normal Jonin, so yeah. Hold up real quick. Alright, so Naruto would take the test, doing pretty good actually. He's really the highest in the class. In terms of intelligence, Naruto does seem dumb to literally everyone there. But eventually Naruto would show off his intelligence, as it would go off to probably putting him at number 2 in general for the class, Sakura being at number 1. But with this test, Naruto would basically place as Rookie of the Year. And this does irritate Sasuke, as Naruto was his first day in the academy, and he already scored the highest ever. Well, he set almost multiple records, as his durability is insanely high. But Yurika threw a kunai at Naruto, and he let it hit him, and it bounced off of him, so... Naruto's durability will slam straight into a Chidori. He'll run into a Chidori willingly, and it will not faze him. At the best, it would probably give a second-degree burn on him, which he wouldn't care about too much, really. It'd heal immediately. He forces out power of the Nine Tails pretty averagely, but... Yeah. But Team 7 is still formed because Sasuke would need to be taught by Kakashi to use a Sharingan. Sakura is pretty smart, they need Kunoichi, so Team 7 it is, and Naruto's Rookie of the Year, so this is Team 7. And with Team 7 being formed, Kakashi would still, if you guys wondering who take over Naruto's division, it's some boy he's been training named Toshiro, so. This boy has also been working to achieve spiritual pressure. But yeah, so basically Naruto would go on, and, as they go on, the team would be formed. Naruto would talk to Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. His likes would probably consist of women, training, sleeping, and, meditating. Those are his few favorite things. His dislikes, he doesn't know if he has any. There's not many things he dislikes. I guess doing paperwork is something he dislikes, or homework in general. And Kakashi says he seconds that, so he doesn't blame him. So yeah. This we can go on probably now to just, not to just happens to be paperwork, no, it happens to be responsibility. So, yeah. But then his goal happens to probably be inheriting the Monk Temple, and then his dream is probably becoming the feudal lord, or at least the lowest Hokage. So he wants to own the temple and everything, but he also wants to be Hokage or the feudal lord at the same time. So yeah. So this, Team 7 would go on, and Sasuke does have a dream goal of killing someone, but Naruto doesn't really talk much about it. But yeah, she has Sasuke, have you ever killed someone before? Sasuke says, no, he wouldn't need to. Naruto says, oh, you would. If you want to kill one person, but they're so strong that it's your dream to kill them, well, never killing someone before that would probably be the worst mistake possible for you. The feeling that you'd accomplish your dream, sure, but it'd be the worst feeling left in your gut ever. It'd be the worst feeling you'd ever feel for probably decades on end. I was curious about Naruto if he's ever killed someone, and Naruto says, only those who deserve it. So, yeah, because Naruto, the Gotei 13's job is kind of just acting as mercenaries and shinobis to gather fun for the temple. Well, they do missions for multiple other, like small villages, but not countries. They do missions for a Hidden Leaf occasionally, but they only do missions for small villages such as like Land of Hot Water, Land of Rice, Land of Jungle, that kind of stuff. They don't do any missions for bigger villages like the Land of Wind, or not Land of Wind, but like the land, like the Hidden Mist and stuff like that. They don't do missions for those guys. So yeah. Pause. Alright. So Team 7 basically go on, and the next day was the bell test, but Naruto could already tell that Kakashi was lying. But before you do the bell test, I'm going to go over all of Naruto's abilities that he already has at the age of 16. So yeah, but for his personality, he's very goofy, energetic, loud, slightly perverted, but also does act lazy and carefree a lot of the time too. He's a master swordsman, as he's stronger than a majority of the samurai. His main technique that he would use with the sword is called Akitowari, which is basically he cuts someone from the jaw all the way down in half, or the way I put it, basically just from jaw to crotch, which is technically the truth. You kind of just cluster their jaw open, and then you cut them in half through the jaw, or from the jaw down. And then Naruto's also a user of Aikido, which is just using spiritual pressure. He would just use like random blast, barrier, healing, that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's actually him being an expert healer, he's a pretty good doctor. He's the best in the whole temple. And the only thing he can't do is high-level surgeries. He's good with like average surgeries, like like small stab wounds or slashes. But when it comes to like repairing like a whole organ, that's something he's not too good at, or vital organ, so to say. He's mentioned Shunpo and Hakudo, which only things that he's the only one that uses either of those. So yeah, Shunpo he already moves faster than light can, pretty easily actually. It's the point where he can actually outmove a Sharingan. This is what he did. He's about the Uchiha, about the legends of the Uchiha. He developed Shunpo just to outmove the Sharingan. Something beyond being able to catch up to his strength and speed by copying it, he doesn't like that. So Shunpo is simply just to make fun of the Sharingan to him. And Hakudo, or Hakuda, for the name of it, I forgot the last letter and I'm like correcting it. But that's just Naruto's martial art style that he would use, and he's pretty good at it. One of the best taijutsu users in the series at this point by using it. He has a few techniques by using Hakudo, but I'll go over those later. He's using spiritual pressure, so you can use it to kill or crush anyone. He has insane durability, like I said before. You can withstand one or two Chidoris, the chest actually, the face too. I mean, he's very perceptive and knowledgeable mid-battle. He has super strength, which allows him to actually easily crack Susanoo's. But then if you were to use his sword with like his all-out slash, you could probably cut it into pieces and in half. He has infinite stamina, and his pain tolerance is insanely high. I say his limit is probably just being stabbed by a Susanoo, like through the chest by a Susanoo. Which is something that even like country healing Tsunade would struggle to deal with at some point, but she did still do good with it. And Naruto has a sword named Ingetsu, and he has a technique called Shikai. And his Shikai named is not name, but its release is Basuto or Blastum. So because Kurama uses tail beast bombs, and his sword would catch fire, but you can also launch off firing arcs, firing barriers, or just launch off a slash that can create a giant explosion. Or if we were to stab someone, he can make them combust. So, yeah. Or if we were to tap someone, he can just create a giant explosion that can turn them into ash immediately. Naruto's a pretty hardcore fighter. But yeah, that's all Naruto's abilities at the age of 16. He doesn't have a Bankai yet, he'll achieve that later. So yeah. Basically with this, Naruto would go on and proceed to we'll do the bell test the next day. And Kakashi would say start on the bell test. Naruto just honestly appeared like right in front of him, and slash at him, because Kakashi would try to dodge it, only to have his headband cut off by Naruto. But he realizes he's not bleeding or anything. Naruto just wanted to see his Sharingan. But Naruto smirks as he throws on his captain's coat, saying, good, he's wanted to confirm that, yeah, this is the Kakashi of the Sharingan. As Naruto then says, he's instructed Kakashi's technique that he made to beat the Sharingan. But Sasuke and Kakashi freeze immediately, only for Naruto to appear like behind Kakashi, and punch him in the back of the head, full force. Which is probably cracked his head wide open. But Naruto can tell what transformation is immediately, so this way he did it at full force. This seems something to Naruto blow apart Kakashi's head. Kakashi hit the ground, poofing into a log, with the whole upper half of it destroyed. But Naruto smirked before he uses spiritual pressure to immediately flatten a lot of the woods and forest life. Kakashi's on the ground, barely able to stand. Then Naruto released it, only for Sasuke and Sakura to jump and kick Kakashi into the air with a double kick one kick from both of them. Then Naruto jumped up in the air, and he yelled, Naruto, flying knee, or flying double knee. As he uses it does a double knee strike right to the chest of Kakashi, which mainly just wins him, as he doesn't want to kill him. If he were to use all strength using these two knees, he would have caved in Kakashi's chest easily. But no, it just winded him heavily. With this, as Kakashi hit immediately to the ground, immediately Sasuke grabbed him by the hair, and Sakura just jumped away grabbing the bells. So yeah. He threw each of the bells to Naruto and Naruto and Sasuke. And, yeah. So with this, we go on to the next part being, probably just them passing the bell test. And he does say, Naruto was on the more one-sided part, but they still did work well as a team. Even if it was only briefly. Now Sasuke just wanted to know the Sharingan. Kakashi would tell them, my friend died in battle, and his last gift, so the enemy didn't take his Sharingan was to give it to me because I lost my eye. As he protected me from, I lost my eye from protecting him, then he protected me, And when I lost my eye, then his last gift to me before he died was the Sharingan that he had left. And Sasuke understood that, so, yeah. And that's war, sometimes things happen. Hell, there are even some villagers who want a Byakugan with a Sharingan, but who cares? Sasuke knows the truth. But yeah. Right. So we now go on just to the 1 month and a half of training. And Naruto's just like kind of slashing apart mountains and everything, like just top speed and force. But also, he's learning a lot more jutsu from his team. It's not just in terms of releases. He can use fire release, earth release, and wind release. But then he would actually speak to Kakashi about learning lightning release. Kakashi would volunteer to teach it to him, as Naruto says he has no affinity for earth or fire release. He just learned it because he wanted to. Wind release is his affinity. And he learned both of those in a pretty short amount of time, actually. Which Kakashi would understand, so he tried to train Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura in nature releases. But this does require a bit of chakra control, so Sakura had to learn how to use that first, and Naruto already learned it, and he learned it from one of his father's guards before he even went to grandfather's guards, before he even went to the temple. So he's had chakra control for a little over a decade by now. So yeah. But with this, Naruto basically is able to learn at least one lightning release jutsu, and yeah. So yeah, we go on now to basically just Tazuna finding the team, and Tazuna would see the team and immediately recognize Naruto by actually cheering, saying, "Naruto, it's you!" You ran over, Naruto and Tazuna hug. Tazuna look at Naruto handing the word about Sake quickly. And Naruto says, "Sorry, things got to drink in front of the Hokage at such a young age," or was kind of just willingly breaking his laws. Tazuna nodded, saying, "Yeah, sure, later." Naruto nodded. Emily, Hughes, and Esseli know each other. Naruto explains he's part of the Gotei 13. He's the 10th captain, and their missions are doing small missions for the Hidden Leaf and small surrounding nations such as Land of Hot Water, Land of Waves, and stuff. And Land of Waves had a bit of a bandit problem a while back. They openly admitted they couldn't afford a hiring mission, so I went on in for them by myself and cleared all the bandits. But I can guess that there's a stronger shinobi moving in on their territory. Emily Tazuna decides not to lie to Naruto and say, no, bandits are back, but they're being led by one ex-CEO who's able to hire rogue shinobi. So it's bandits, rogue shinobi, all being paid high amounts of money. And they could have hired strong shinobi that are probably stronger than you, Naruto. But I don't know, laughing, saying, stronger than me, let's see. This is tells Hiruzen, and that they'll all take serious mission pay, even though the mission's worth an A rank. Hiruzen actually asks the team to handle it, and Kakashi immediately says, Sasuke, show me your Sharingan. Sasuke actually going to teach my Sharingan. Naruto didn't even need to show off anything besides spiritual pressure, as it almost crushed the office itself. And Sakura says she can already use 2 chakra natures. So yeah. So with this, we go on now to basically, I would say like, we can go on probably just to Team 7 won the mission. Well, first they do the Demon Brothers. Knowing that one of them came out of the puddle, Naruto immediately just smirked as he just jumped on, got in the handstand and just yelled, handstand dash. And immediately the Demon Brothers just jumped out of the puddle, just really terrified at how fast this happened. And he's just kind of kicked him in the face as Naruto just jumped on one hand and forward a bit and used one kick to send him flying to a tree unconscious. Sakura jumped full speed ahead with Sasuke, as they both kind of just did a double lariat, knocking one of them out again. But Naruto was healing on him, and then he woke up. It seems to know that Naruto could use healing ninjutsu. So with this, they're able to interrogate the guy. Before he wakes up, before he tries to attack again, Naruto stomps on his head, knocking him out, and they walk away. And Kakashi asks Naruto how well can he do healing ninjutsu. Naruto can actually use healing Kido, but mixing with chakra to make it actual healing ninjutsu, point where it's nearly approaching Orihime levels of healing. And Naruto says he's to the point where he can almost completely remove scars. And this is really shocked Sasuke and Sakura and Kakashi. Naruto struggles like his back, as he said he almost got impaled at some point, and Naruto fully healed it. This is just one small tiny mark, as Sakura's like, no, was it a senbon? He's like, oh no, it was a sword. It was like a full-fledged katana. It was almost clean through his heart. But I'm a pretty good surgeon. He smiles. Almost through his heart. Heart surgery is my thing. I'm working on it though, as he smiles. Naruto, Kakashi kind of feels the scar, Naruto heals a bit of the scar, and Kakashi would just thank Naruto for that. Saying, Phantom Pain still bring out the scar, but the scar being gone, he would miss it, but still, Phantom Pains are still bothersome. So yeah. So we go on now, basically, just to Team 7, when they find Zabuza and Haku. But as soon as the mist rolled around, Naruto just weaved one hand seal, and the whole mist is just gone. Which actually shocked everyone. Then Naruto can break Genjutsu that easily. Like Genjutsu, just ninjutsu. But eventually the blade is thrown at Naruto. But Naruto just lets the blade hit him as it just kind of just hit the ground, not even making a dent in Naruto's clothing. He just stomps in the blade at full force, making a giant crater in the ground, and the blade's into pieces. Some of these episodes tried to grab the hilt, slashing Naruto's face, and the slash landed, but it didn't draw a bit of blood. Instead, it just made a small scrape on Naruto's face. And Naruto just smirked, saying Zadzuki. As he just headbutts Zabuza into the ground. Wait for Haku just flinging his Zenmon at Naruto at top speeds, mixing them with like water release and wind release. But Naruto quickly just drew Gengetsu and is easily able to deflect all the attacks. So yeah, so once all the attacks are deflected, Naruto just charges full speed at Haku, grabbing him by the face, and just squeezes it till he passes out. So yeah. That pretty easily took down Haku and Zabuza. And afterwards heals on face from the small scrape he got. We would also kind of remove his shirt, as Sakura would immediately just turn bright red. And he actually would ask anyone if there's a small wound in his chest or anything from the blade hitting him. And Kakashi says, "No, you're good." Naruto putting his gear back on, as he just walks back, holding Zabuza and Haku by the hair. Till eventually he would get to just the we can go on probably just to now Land Waves, or they're already in it, but we can go on probably just to Team 7, just relaxing Land Waves for a bit. Naruto finds Zabuza. Naruto and Zabuza train for a bit together. And even Zabuza shocked that Naruto's a much better swordsman than any of the swordsmen of the mist he's met. He's even better swordsman than him, Kisame, a few other ones. Naruto's simply just an actual master. But Naruto tells Zabuza that him using his sword with a simple slash like that is just nothing. If we want to go all against Zabuza, he turned him to ash in a split second. Sasuke backs up that statement, saying he's only seen Naruto's Shikai, as he does air quoting, only seen his Shikai once, but reduced almost a whole mountain to ash. So I don't see what it does to a person. And immediately, this kind of just makes Zabuza mumble, saying, "Let's go take 13 or something." And with this, we go on now to just the end of Land Waves arc, where it'd be the Gacho's men attacking. But Zabuza would just kind of cut them all down with Haku by his side. By the end of it, Zabuza was stabbed in the arm pretty badly, so it was the point where that whole arm is now permanently immobile. Or so he thinks. One just got his hand, and the arm is immediately just fully healed. But he tells Zabuza that he's going to cut off the whole arm again if he doesn't stay here in Land Waves and protect it. So he has no choice. Stay here and protect Land Waves with Haku, or have your whole arm removed. Zabuza froze, and says he'll stay here and protect Land Waves. As Naruto would nod, turning around, and waving by to Haku and Zabuza. Now, Haku's still a guy, so Naruto isn't going to be too impressed by it. But he did call Haku very pretty on many occasions after knowing he's still a guy. So yeah. Back in Konoha, I'd be the Chunin exams. But first, they have 2 weeks of training, which Naruto's pretty easily actually training through. So, yeah. Him and Sakura are usually training partners, as Naruto wants to teach her healing ninjutsu. And Sasuke and Kakashi are usually in training, and Sasuke wants to have a Sharingan evolved as quick as possible. Naruto even taught Sakura how to enhance her strength, speed, and durability as he started to teach her Shunpo, but she's not too good at it just yet. Her Taijutsu's coming along pretty well, actually. So yeah. But they wanted to just Konohamaru about to be punched by Kankuro. Well, if Kankuro's punch be stopped by Naruto's just one finger, then Kankuro just flicked in the face and sent flying. Like flying through the air. Naruto just completely ignored Gaara, but stared at Temari, looking down at her outfit, as they're all 16. Well, Temari would be, I believe, 18 actually. But Naruto just looked Temari up and down, winking at her and walking away. And Temari just called him pervert while blushing. And Naruto does look relatively pretty good, so it didn't really matter. So Naruto looks is basically just a mixture of Isshin, like young Isshin and young Isshin and Shippuden Naruto. So yeah. But we go on now to just just Naruto walking into the area of Sasuke and Sakura. Only for Rock Lee to go in for a punch. But Naruto pretty easily dodges Rock Lee, realizes he's in the chokehold now. Not chokehold, but like an armbar now. And puts a flying armbar. Then Naruto was pretty smirk about actually just beating the mess out of Rock Lee without even knowing who he is. By the time he's done, my guy intervened, saying, alright, fight's over. And Rock Lee just got hit, recently just got hit. Like, the most recent attack that Naruto landed was a drop kick to the face. And Rock Lee's on the ground just unconscious, like thumped over. Not like Naruto seriously beat him up, or like a gag moment beat him up. So Rock Lee would immediately recover, but called Naruto like a good fighter. Naruto's bowing, saying that Rock Lee's really strong. He hopes to fight him on Taijutsu someday again. And Rock Lee says the same thing. So yeah. At this, we went to the written test, which Naruto does do pretty good on. But he wants to by his side. Him and Hinata are able to figure things out together. But because Naruto writes and moves so fast, well, no one really sees him actually do anything. But also, Shunpo, he actually will kind of copy answers from all around the room with no one seeing him move. So yeah. This Sasuke can know Naruto is using Shunpo, but he can't see where Naruto's moving. Same for the what was it? Yeah, the examiners or proctors. They know Naruto's moving around somewhere, but they don't know where he can move to, so they can't call him out on anything. It'd be equivalent of like someone getting a peach tree, but know someone's in the bushes, but they can't pinpoint it and just. It'd be like the point of like Naruto saw something again Genjutsu and threw a kunai into a rabbit, and it'd be kind of like calling out, the rabbits was a Genjutsu, which it was, but also a Genjutsu was completely obvious to everyone else still. Not well, after the rabbit was stabbed, it was. Because the rabbit's still alive. Basically, it's obvious, but you can't call it out because it'd be complete BS because there's no evidence. Or it would just be pointless because it'd be... How to phrase this? It would be pointless because... I had the words in my head. It would be pointless to the fact that Naruto can debunk it, so to say. As when he moves, he leaves after image in his seat intentionally, and after image, by the time he's about to leave, Naruto would appear back in his seat. So if Naruto are able to pass him, then Naruto would score the new record. But he turns his paper, and Ibiki just calls Naruto lucky for being so fast. Naruto's the bowing thing, Ibiki is Naruto turn the paper right after him. So yeah. But as we go on again, we now go on to like Team 7, going on to just the Force of Death now. And when Naruto himself to the bathroom, he's still attacked. But Naruto just moves his hand once, and that one just giant burst of wind from his hand would cut the team up. They're not dead, but they're pretty beat up. Naruto does kill people, but he's not too fond of it. He still prefers peace over it all, but he'll do it if he thinks it's necessary. If he pities how weak you are, he won't kill you. Or if he thinks you're too great of a threat for whatever he's doing, he will kill you. So, yeah. So Naruto just messed up the team with just one hand. Found the scroll, and it wasn't something they needed, so he kind of just burned it. When he walked back to his team, they saw the giant tree fall over, but he says it was just a team attacking him, so he took care of them. But they didn't have the scroll that he needed. Also, when the scroll's burning, he saw a bit of the text, but it didn't work on him. That's like, what didn't work on you? He says, open the scrolls are just really strong Genjutsu. But she shocked the team, so they didn't know how to open it. So now we go on to basically just them being attacked by like Orochimaru. And Naruto would fight him as Naruto's about, he's been growing stronger, like just rapidly. With his full strength, recently he's about as strong as Asuma when he got into the Hidden Leaf to take the like entrance exams. Or take the final exams. But then after like the bell test and then train with Kakashi for a bit, or unleashing his full power against Kakashi, his power would surpass Asuma going to Kakashi's scale, but breaking it because of his physical strength and speed. Speed and strength are the only things he has on Kakashi, actually. Just speed, strength, and technique. Those three things. Which is still pretty important for being a shinobi. But then after a month and a half for the Land of Waves, Naruto completely surpassed him. He's entering the realm of, like, Danzo and Hiruzen scale. And that's him not even using a Shikai. But because, like Danzo, I believe was a bit stronger than Hiruzen, because of just his multiple Izanagi. But yeah. So, Naruto's pretty entering the realm of Danzo and Hiruzen. I think Danzo's a bit stronger, though. But still, Naruto's getting closer to Hiruzen's level of power. So when it comes to Orochimaru fighting him, well, Naruto's actually able to somewhat hold him off a bit, enough for his team to escape. But Naruto would have to unleash a Shikai in such a flammable area, which he does say it's pretty bad, so he'd have to move the fight to the air. Which just confused Orochimaru immediately, only for him to be grabbed by the neck and thrown into the sky, like just into the sky. But Naruto immediately would just jump, kicking in the air, and landing on it. Then puts out a Shikai, and would just yell, burning arc. He would slash it, but then he would put up one hand seal as the slash would hit Orochimaru, only for it to blow up. The slash, Orochimaru would basically lose his arm, his leg, and a few internal organs are damaged and exposed. Burn means hit the ground, coughing up blood. But Naruto would just follow up with attacks toward Orochimaru's corpse, or what he thinks would be his corpse, only for Orochimaru to regurgitate himself and escape, thinking that Naruto's attacks are a bit too explosive for him to handle. So Naruto would seize his Shikai, put it away, and walk towards his team. One for them to hit him in the back, which is a palm strike, and he immediately hit the ground holding his knees. Wondering what the hell that was, is for the first time in years he coughs up blood. Only for him to be kicked in the face by someone, and then following up with just one giant blast of sound, and Naruto is hit against a tree. He's hit in the chest again, or it's not in the chest again, in the chest one more time, or once, and coughs up even more blood. Kabuto just sits severing organs and veins in Naruto's body. Kabuto proceeded to follow up with attacks, weakening Naruto's ability insanely, and Zaku and Keen proceeded to just try to get Naruto again jutsu. And also just blunt force damage. But everything kind of got worried about Naruto coming over to them, and explosives keep going off. Or, not explosive, but the booms keep going off. What do they do? Go to find Naruto, only for him to be covered in blood and coughing a lot of it up. And Kabuto basically just is walking away, and, well, he would move his headband, and it says just tells him his ability was to sever things internally, and Naruto's durability is outwards, not inwards. Or it's externally, not internally, so that's Naruto's weakest point, is his insides. Naruto basically ended up coughing up blood, and as he got up, he kind of got himself like a one-tailed cloak and began healing a bit, but he turned on Kabuto, saying Kabuto isn't worth the fight. Kabuto is making him waste a lot of energy doing this. So yeah. But Naruto proceeds to go with the team, and he's gonna say, well, in the middle of my beating, I did snag this one thing. He throws a scroll in the air, and they immediately are just completely shocked. Izushi asked Naruto did he let himself get beat up just to find someone who had the scroll, and he would nod. So yeah, he could have killed at any time, he just wanted to fight. But yeah, that guy was right, his weakness is his internal organs. That's his only thing, that's his only weakness. So yeah. So we can go on now to probably just them in the base, and it lasts for about, well, they got there in like the first 8 hours or so. And Naruto would proceed during the rest of 5 days with his Bankai. With someone as strong as Orochimaru wandering around, he can't let him escape. So yeah. For the 5 days, Naruto didn't sleep, eat, or drink anything. But by like the hour they have left, Naruto would basically gorge himself to his maximum degree. That's when Naruto just so beat up, and he has the gag effect of just being really frail and like has a giant stubble and everything, like a giant like doomsday prepper beard. But when the hour's up, Naruto's back to being his usual buff self with a very clean face. So yeah, they do wonder, like, he got beat up, sure, but his clothes weren't this tattered before. Hell, his Gotei 13 logo was almost destroyed. But also, it would mean to walk up to Naruto, holding handing him new clothes, saying, "Go change." Naruto immediately just suddenly flickered for a second, and then his clothes are back on. And he also uses old robes, and just actually has Sakura hold on to him until his match. Hold on to the clothes before his match, and she would just nod. And she would decide to use Zemo and sew a bit of it back together. This is Naruto's first Gotei 13 outfit. But yeah. We see the first fight is Sasuke versus Roy. Sasuke, not being curse mark, would proceed to body Roy disrespectfully without even using ninjutsu. He just almost kills him. But he doesn't, because Naruto convinced him not to until he thinks someone truly deserves it. So yeah. Then we go on now to Sakura versus Ino, where Sakura just jumped out in front of her, kicking her in the chest and winding her heavily, and picking her up and suplexing her onto the ground, knocking her out. Sakura tells Ino that they should train together sometime, and she walks in the stands and says, "Naruto, tomorrow, Sakura." Now with this, we go on to basically just Naruto versus Kiba, and Naruto would just yawn, and immediately Kiba would try to use Fang over Fang. But Kiba sees something in Naruto, didn't even move him a centimeter. And Naruto then says, "Weak," as he just chops Kiba on the head, kind of like Saitama would do. And Kiba immediately hit the ground, unconscious. Then Akamaru got a bit nervous trying to bark, but Naruto just kneeled down, petting Akamaru, and at this point, Akamaru just fell asleep. And then I put a thumbs up, and she just nods, and then says, "Naruto's winner via knockout and submission." So yeah, with this, he immediately heals Kiba, and says, oh yeah, forgot to do this. He would pull it basically with one hand, as immediately a giant barrier is directed, that fully glows green, and heals everyone, even if a few scars are erased. He usually looks at his arm a bit, saying, these scars are old, they're gone now. I'm impressed. Yeah, so with that, Naruto basically jumps up to the stands, his Kiba would just scoff that Akamaru was beaten just by petting, and he was beaten just by a chop. Then we go to Rock Lee vs. Gaara, which Naruto just watches. Well, first Hinata versus Neji, where Naruto did heal Hinata immediately, but he was the one to stop something, and Neji's last blow was just his chest. And Neji even just like broke a finger trying to just hit Naruto. So yeah. But Naruto just told Neji went too far and killed him and Hinata. But told Neji if he were to go too far again in front of Naruto would hesitate to kill him in an instant. As he said, Neji is kind of exerting spiritual pressure and killing intent. Everyone realized that Naruto was serious. Or they thought he was. He wouldn't kill Neji, he'd just rough him up. He's understanding that Neji has a lot of emotion going on that he doesn't know about. So he finds out the meaning of that emotion, if it's just the cause, if it's a reasonable cause for the anger he has towards the Hyuga, he wouldn't kill him, but he'd beat him up. If it's unreasonable, he may actually kill him. So, But still, we go on, again, to Rock Lee vs. Gaara. This fight would go on, and Rock Lee's doing pretty well. But Naruto just realized that Gaara is just torturing Rock Lee. He could end the fight going full power right at any moment, but the area's too small, so he has to just torture him. But Naruto would actually tell, Kakashi just to make, she said Naruto's going to the bathroom. And Kakashi would ask where Naruto's actually going, and Naruto says he's going to go investigate something. He would immediately just jump off the railing, go to the bathroom area, and make a shadow clone that would actually keep an eye on Rock Lee. As the clone keeps using healing techniques to actually upgrade Rock Lee's body, providing him durability, or creating small barriers that aren't even noticeable unless you have spiritual pressure, which only Sakura is getting close to achieving. Well, Sakura doesn't see the barriers briefly, she's not that good yet, but, yeah. But Rock Lee just realizes he's taking less damage, and so it doesn't really hurt as much. He thinks this just maybe intense adrenaline. So, yeah. But eventually we do go on now to just Naruto coming back, and he actually would appear kind of behind Hiruzen's chair, and kind of tap at the back of his shoes and put his hand out behind it, and grab a scroll from Naruto. Naruto then disappears. Actually, he's walking back up the stairs, and Hiruzen would open the scroll, reading it, and immediately just sigh. As Kakashi asked Naruto how he knew what the hidden sand was doing, or why he was investing in the hidden sand, and Naruto said Gaara had ulterior motives, but it seemed like he was holding back because not only because of the room's size, but because there's something greater behind his power, like he was waiting for a certain moment. And because the hidden sand isn't exactly on good terms at the moment with anyone, I think something's up. And with this, Naruto was Kakashi that someone wearing a hidden headband had ambushed Naruto in the forest, and well, this person happened to be with Orochimaru. Naruto almost killed him, but this guy that attacked him before was still doing pretty good damage to him. For this, Kakashi would decide to kind of just think about it and thank Naruto. It's Naruto kind of investigated hidden sand and hidden sand shinobi they could find. So, yeah. They went to the one with the training. Naruto couldn't find Jiraiya, but Jiraiya found Naruto. It's Naruto the waterfall where Jiraiya was having Naruto train at, and Jiraiya was spying on women. Naruto's training his Bankai there, with women just ogling at him, and a few of them flirting with Naruto. So yeah. Jiraiya just quickly realized who Naruto is with his hairstyle and his black hair, but also his attire. As he was told Naruto Wars, this is his old Gotsuki 13 outfit, but he washed it. This is officially sewed up. Sakura did help a lot, so his outfit's better. Hinata even did a bit of a better job than some tailors did, as Hinata offered to sew it up a bit for him as well. But yeah. So basically, we go on to now probably just Jiraiya finding Naruto, talking to him for a bit. And Naruto offers treatment Jiraiya, saying he'd already fought a Sannin before, and Sannin was a bit too strong for him. But his technique that he thinks could defeat anyone he wants to. Well, Jiraiya's impressed by this technique, but Naruto says it's not perfected yet, so we could use someone strong to test it with. So Naruto and Jiraiya train together for the whole 1 month. By the end of the month, we can go on probably just to Naruto going to the finals to fight Neji. But Naruto's hair's a lot longer, like he hasn't cut it for a long time. And, well, Naruto also happens to have his sword in a different form. But Naruto just tells Neji that once the fight starts, he's going to draw a sword and use one slash. But if Neji doesn't avoid the slash somehow, Neji will die. Neji immediately froze. This Naruto's dead serious, he can tell. So Naruto put out his sword, and he then just said, Bonkai. Suera o Jigoku. He will slash downwards. And immediately, a giant pillar of sword would shoot right up at Neji. And he tries to avoid it, only for multiple other pillars to just appear from the ground, coated in flames, basically creating just a gigantic flaming attack. These pillars made so much flames that not even like anyone could withstand the flames. It's melting even the bars like holding like I guess viewers back. Then he gets to jump out of bounds, and his foot's pretty badly burned. But after this, he somewhat avoided it, so Neji passes, but almost died still. So Naruto immediately just inhales and exhales once, and the flames are gone, and Naruto's sword went back to normal. And he was actually would sort of dry as Naruto dries in the sand just watching, and he was like, dry. Was that the technique then they told me about the Naruto thinks he could beat anyone? Dry says, yeah, but that was him using a low scale, so he wouldn't kill Neji. That was all bluff to scare Neji away, which immediately he was chuckled at. But Naruto was seeing Neji's foot. He heals Neji, and yeah. So we can go on probably now to like I don't know. We can really go on to like just hold up. Alright, where was I? But yeah, so Naruto was just bluffing Neji, heals Neji's pretty badly burnt foot, and everything's restored. So yeah. We can go on now to basically just yeah, we really go to like just I don't know. I guess the other fights happen, which go Sakura versus Shino as Conqueror to drop out early. This is when you hit a three-way fight, he immediately said he'll drop out. So Sakura Shino, Sakura won. She can use Shumpo on a pretty okay scale now. Like an average scale, but she's getting better and better. So she used Shumpo, just kick Shino in the gut full force, knocking him out. So, yeah. Then we go on now, Sasuke versus Gaara. And after this call, there's like a Sasuke saying copying ability of Shaman is pretty impressive, but still, he thinks it's still dishonorable. That's why he sticks to Shumpo and nothing more. And Kakashi actually asks, Shumpo able to be copied at all? And Naruto says no. That's why the only reason he made it. So no one can ever copy it. And that's it. Just you didn't want anyone to copy his moves. So you use Shumpo, and that's why he's using Sakura. She's pretty strong but vulnerable. So Shumpo is her way to be not vulnerable. Or susceptible, I'd say. But yeah. Now we go on to basically just Gaara turning to One Tails. Naruto, Hidden Leaf already prepped for this, as right as the hidden sound, we're like prepping for like some of the snakes. Then they try to, they're just killed by Anbu. Hiruzen already knew about this because of Naruto's scroll. So when Gaara turned into One Tails, nothing happened, which mainly confused Gaara and the hidden sand. And before Ross knew it, or Orochimaru knew it, he stabbed right in the gut by Hiruzen. Hiruzen would sigh, saying, "Do you really think that I didn't know about your plan? We have someone who's stronger than me here, and he's pretty bright too. He still saw something a mile away." As Naruto just used one simple slash from Shikai to actually burst Gaara's sand, catch Gaara by the neck, and then throw Gaara into a wall. Naruto doesn't know what Gaara's going through, but he's getting to know it, as Hidden Leaf still doesn't like him. He's an outsider who thinks he can just come in here, be strong, and announce he's going to be the Hokage. Plus, he's the Jinchuriki. Something they don't like him, it's just they're annoyed by him. Butter tells Gaara he can't really get what Gaara's going through, but he gets some of the comments. He tells Gaara that Jinchuriki's life will always be a struggle. It's their choice to surpass those struggles and become stronger than anyone makes him out to be. And Gaara, all he's doing is feeding the stereotypes of Jinchurikis. He's making himself look bad. That's it. All Gaara has to do is accept the people that are closest to him. This most of his sand siblings rushing at him, like ready yelling, "Don't hurt Gaara! Don't kill him! We'll kill you if you hurt Gaara." And after Nadi telling Gaara, saying, "See, those people right there, they don't need to be pushing out when they're the ones that they'll make you stronger." But there's no turning away. They're pretty much sand siblings, and just says goodbye. Gaara ends up sitting up, saying, "Let's get the hidden sand out of here. It's a losing battle." And immediately with this, Well, Tamari and Kankuro agree, and the hidden sense is just forced into retreat by Tamari. Naruto shows up at the barrier before he just jumps up to it, and we lose like a few like hand seals. Then just keto, so and so number, and then the barrier would immediately just fall down. Which one's a bit confused as to how would rush at Naruto. But as soon as they're rushing at Naruto just appeared behind them all with a sword pointed forward, and suddenly just one giant piercing wound would appear on four simultaneously, hit the ground with stab wounds right in their hearts. Then we see Jiraiya jumping through the barrier and punch Orochimaru right in the face using imperfect sage mode, and it knocked Orochimaru on impact. As soon as Orochimaru bounced off the ground, bounced off the ceiling, he immediately just woke back up, summoning the first three Hokage, or not first three, the three dead Hokage. But not just kind of grabbed the two of them, holding them down with his maximum strength, and just kind of stepping on the third one so it didn't emerge. He told Hiruzen and Jiraiya, "Do your thing. He's stuck." Before he can release the seal, immediately he's caught in an earthly jutsu by Jiraiya, and Hiruzen was just being burning to death. But then, as soon as he tried to open his mouth to regurgitate himself, he called it out, and Kakashi immediately just stuck a kunai through his jaw and into the roof of his mouth, holding him shut. If this Kabuto would try to intervene, but not with a smirk, saying your ability was a bit annoying. So I called in someone who knows human biology probably better than you. Suddenly, string would wrap around Kabuto, and the string turned to ice. Kabuto immediately froze, only for him to be pierced through a few organs, and then right in the neck, this many times, and he would just pass out immediately. Haku would land with Zabuza, and Zabuza immediately says, "So, this guy was the one that gave you trouble, this skinny dork?" As he just kicks Zabuza in the face, who didn't wake up. And says, "Yeah, believe it or not, my only weakness is my internal organs, which is everyone's weakness, but my skin's as hard as iron." So it was a bit annoying, but still, he threw me somehow. But, yeah. Supposing such a strong weakness like this, I'm gonna have to find some way to, end that ability. As he immediately would deliver a few quick flashes to Kabuto's body, and his arms are basically immediately useless. And after this, with just his medical expertise, Kabuto's body or arms to basically be irreparable unless it's someone like him or Tsunade to repair them. Naruto does know human biology pretty well, but Kabuto seemed to know them a bit better. So yeah. So with this, we go on. Hold up real quick. Alright, so we go on now basically just Orochimaru being detained now. As he's not dead, but he's pretty messed up. With him being detained in the prison. With this, immediately we have, Orochimaru bound up by chains and seals. And then, Kabuto's just detained as well. But they do want to go find Tsunade. He does still pretty beaten up. And Naruto does say he has to focus on other villagers, not just the Hokage. Hiruzen does admit, though, that's true. Well, with this, Naruto will actually pass on his healing to Sakura, as he does say he'll find Tsunade. She can do a bit more extra healing than him, as Hiruzen's wounds are pretty serious. Naruto can heal serious wounds too, but surgery isn't really his thing. We can do it, but Hiruzen does require a bit minor healing, but also major surgeries in some places. He'll live, but they'll be bad in the long run. This Naruto and Jiraiya set out, and they basically go to the same hotel where Naruto encounters Itachi and Kisame. But since someone knocked on the door, Naruto already knew something was off, as Jiraiya had a key and he would just open it. And plus, Naruto and Jiraiya know each other. If Jiraiya were to be weary of Naruto doing average or stereotypical male teenage things, how do I phrase this? He would use it as blackmail. And the door's not open or anything, or even creaked open, so this isn't Jiraiya. But as soon as they knock again, suddenly Naruto's sword came through the door, and Itachi yelled in pain immediately. The sword is pulled out. Naruto appeared, robbing Kisame, hitting back the neck with just a swift chop, and Kisame hit the ground immediately unconscious. Naruto put Kisame in chokehold, and snapped his neck, immediately killing him. Naruto looks at Itachi, asking him if he wants to die too. Only see the Sharingan and say, "Oh, so you're the infamous Itachi Uchiha." Immediately Naruto and Itachi begin swapping hands, and Itachi's a bit better than Naruto in terms of just taijutsu using a Sharingan. But Naruto decides to move around and use, well, Shunpo. Mix in with his Hakudo, and easily actually able to land a blow on Itachi's face, which will actually break his jaw. With Itachi's jaw broken and him stunned, he, well, I'm gonna phrase this weirdly. Itachi can't get around Naruto's abilities because he simply just fights too weird for the Sharingan. Shunpo already outspeeds it. His Hakudo is just weird compared to Konoha Taijutsu. Itachi isn't used to this, as this is not a Taijutsu style of anyone he's ever met. With this, Naruto would actually be able to kill Kisame. Not kill Itachi either, just easily able to defeat him. With Itachi's jaw's broken in these 2 days, Naruto beat him pretty easily. He would use rope and tie it on Itachi, then use a seal to cover Itachi's eyes. With this, he kind of just uses the Akatsuki cloak that they have on, tie them up with it, and kind of use it as like a giant duffel bag. And he tells Jiraiya, Jiraiya should go out to fight Itachi himself. He's to bring these 2 into Konoha, or he'll bring one to Konoha, then the other to hidden in his cemetery. Jiraiya would nod as Naruto carries Samehada in his mouth, and it's not even poking him because Naruto's a good swordsman. So yeah. So Itachi brought in the Hidden Leaf custody, but not necessarily keep it a hush from Sasuke. Naruto will actually make his way all the way over to Hidden Mist. That's why Hidden Leaf Shinobi is here. But he holds up Samehada, saying he's here to return this, but wants to speak to the Mizukage first. With this, he goes inside the village, and may actually ask Naruto how he found Samehada. Also unraveled the Akatsuki cloak, revealing Kisame's corpse. And he says that Kisame tried to attack him, so he killed him. The Kisame saying he has one sabu in his hand, and both his neck is snapped. That's how this happened. Naruto explains Kisame basically was knocking on his door. He's just in Cherokee, by the way, so Kisame tried to hunt him. Kisame knocked on his door. Naruto stabbed him in the hand. With Kisame being stunned, he appeared behind him, choking him out, and snapped his neck. Then his partners and the Hidden Leaf arrested. As to his partners, but he says it's Itachi Uchiha. And everyone in the room throws that this random kid could take on Itachi and Kisame together. As he had a partner, Naruto says, yeah, but his partner was late, so he ended the battle early. As his partner was, he says, oh, dry the Sanin. And they immediately freeze, thinking that Naruto's like bluffing, but no, their intel does state Itachi's partner is Kisame, Kisame's partner is Itachi. And Jiraiya's currently on Konoha, he's looking for someone. So this guy has to be Jiraiya's partner. Only for Ao to actually kill Naruto, he's gonna stay here. They could use another Jinchuriki. And then Naruto would sigh, saying, oh, you're Ao, right? Yeah, the Hyuga don't like you too much. I says, yeah, I don't blame them. Only for Ao to be lifted in the air by just a quick slap. Then where Ao knows it, his Byakugan was clearly really ripped out of his face. Not melt down saying, he doesn't let Ao kick the Byakugan, but don't try to ever intimidate him ever again. It was a nice offer, sure, but there's a lot of possible intimidation behind it, so if Ao tries it again, he'll make sure that he crushes the Byakugan and no one gets it. She stood back in Ao's face and walked away. And Ao's eye was bleeding profusely, to the point where his Byakugan's being stung by it, so, yeah. But Naruto quickly found Jiraiya again, and Jiraiya's on his way back with Tsunade. Because Orochimaru doesn't really need Tsunade's help, and Jiraiya said, Hyuga just need surgery, that's it. You can leave after that. As Naruto said, Naruto probably won't like Tsunade. That's why he wants to stay Hokage, as Naruto's one of the best assets, and if the best asset doesn't like Tsunade, it's not a good idea. But though Naruto saw Tsunade, he immediately yelled 106. And Jiraiya just said, just mumbled, that's my boy. Then just looked up saying, that's very inappropriate, Naruto. Also, how do you know that? Naruto immediately says, a man who loves women like I do wouldn't off the top of her head. So I went and punched Naruto, and he let her punch him. He's like an inch back, saying he doesn't know to be turned on or to be angry, but he'll be both. And Jiraiya says, "Don't be both, be one." And Naruto just turned bright red, saying, "Jiraiya knows which one he is." As Naruto walks away. Tsunade actually asks Jiraiya who that brat is, and Jiraiya says he's the one that healed the majority of Konoha. He can Hyuga because Hyuga does require a bit more surgery than Naruto can handle. So yeah. I was like, oh, so he's a medical nin. And Jiraiya says, yeah, give him like a few months, he may be better than you. So in terms of strength, he's already surpassed all of us. He's the only reason we have Orochimaru arrested. So, yeah. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, back in Konoha, Naruto would proceed to get to know Tsunade and Shizune, and eventually, well, Itachi would hear, not Itachi, Sasuke would hear about Naruto arresting Itachi, and Sasuke immediately challenges Naruto, saying, "There's no way you brought in Itachi. I don't think you're that strong. Fight me." Naruto stared down at Sasuke, saying, "Alright, then I'll fight you." Listen, Naruto and Sasuke began fighting, and Naruto beat Sasuke in just 2 punches, and Sasuke didn't even land one. Fight lasted 2 seconds. Just 1 second, 1 punch to the face, second, like the last second, 1 punch to the side. And that took down Sasuke for the rest of the day. So yeah. So with this, with Sasuke defeated, well, Sasuke decided to leave the village seeking power. But when he tried to, he's surrounded by Sakura. He tries to knock out Sakura, with her to spin around, kicking him in the temple with a swift blow, calling him too slow. With Sasuke's knocked out, he's then detained for a few weeks for trying to abandon Konoha. It only happens to be Itachi, so he hates it. But, yeah. So we can go on now, probably to, like, hold up. Alright, so, basically in the cell, well, Danzo worries that Itachi may try to leak some information to Sasuke. So they're both in the cell, blindfolded and sealed. Someone would sneak in, immediately trying to kill Itachi and Sasuke. When someone tried it, well, Naruto can sense all of Konoha. He knows something is up when someone enters Itachi and Sasuke's cell. When he's the one that's a Jonin, and he's the one that brought them in, he's also the one that kind of, well, he's the one that gets information on whether they're being released or executed. So he really appeared next to the voice upon the person trying to execute them. As soon as they were about to be killed, this sort of would basically thrust through the chest of the intruder. They're supposed to grabbing their mouth before they know what's happening. With this, not immediately would just flickered out of there before Sasuke and Itachi knew someone was there. And Naruto killed the intruder, revealing to Hiruzen. Hiruzen looked at the armor, and they called it this as Root, who not where the base was. Naruto actually looks at Hiruzen, looks at Jiraiya, who's in the room currently going for a meeting for mission. But Jiraiya says, didn't you just ban Root a few years ago? Hiruzen says, yes. But trying to kill our prisoners like this? Well, I'm going to tell you guys the truth of what happened. And then he tells them the truth of the massacre, telling them that's probably why Danzo wants them killed. So, with this, immediately, Naruto actually asked, should he disband Root himself, in a very much more forceful way. Hiruzen would then sigh, saying, something else is going to happen. As Hiruzen to say, Danzo being about as strong as him, and Danzo probably having a lot more influence over Konoha than most people. Danzo may try to kill Naruto. So with this, Naruto would go on and proceed to basically just, he go on to the hideout with Jiraiya, and Hiruzen by his side, and they proceed to basically take down Root. Either killing them all, or just permanently injuring them. There's Danzo who tried to fight them, but then Naruto saw Danzo's arm and his eye, and immediately just took one eye out of his head and cut one arm off. Before Danzo could try to use Izanagi, this is already done. And he didn't point out the seal on Danzo's tongue, and Naruto hit him in the gut so hard that his mouth opened, and Jiraiya couldn't grab by the tongue. He cut it off, and Danzo's bleeding heavily, only for it to be healed. And Danzo's really just dismantled like that quickly. Every ability that he had that was worth anything, he's beaten. Danzo is then arrested and put in the same cell as Orochimaru. So yeah. Let's see, Akatsuki would try to make a move for the next 2 years, but Akatsuki's pretty easily dropped by Naruto. They're not that strong to him. He just grows faster than 2 years. So without pretty easily clearing out everything in the span of 2 years, first, Kidon Kakuzu tried to kill Chiriku, but Naruto was in the middle of learning, of just meditating as he goes anywhere he wants to now as a Jonin. Plus he's about strong. He's a Sanin. He's considered a Sanin now to replace Orochimaru. So yeah, so he pretty easily, basically how to phrase this. He is the monk Sanin. He's the one that's a monk, but he's also now the first division captain in the Gosei 13. And when Shiryu was announcing this, well, immediately he's about to be killed by Hidan and Hidan and Kakuzu. But Naruto kills them both easily. Or he kills Kakuzu and then kind of just buries Hidan. And Hidan just dies down there. Then Naruto decides to go on a one-man Akatsuki hunt, and he does pretty well by killing literally every member besides Obito and Zetsu, or Black Zetsu, but White Zetsu's dead. So when it comes to those two, Naruto found Black Zetsu, and just sealed him away using barriers and Earth Release. With this, Black Zetsu can't escape the barriers or the Earth Release, so he's just kept there underground, and unable to ever get out. The point where Black Zetsu isn't able to, the point he's not able to get out, there's through emotion and other things, Black Zetsu dies. And Naruto proceeds to fight Obito and kill him in the span of the 2 years. Naruto had barely turned 18 by the end of the 2 years, and he already killed the whole Akatsuki. He already found who Obito was as well. Obito was in prison, but died due to injury. So, yeah. By the end of the 2 years, Itachi's not out of prison yet. He's out of prison when Naruto's around 22. By the time, Naruto already has a son on the way. And he has 2 names for his son until he finds out Hinata is pregnant with twins. And Sasuke was out of prison like a week before the 2 years of training. So, yeah. But basically, Naruto would have twins on the way, and he names one Ichigo, as this one has blonde hair, but the blonde hair turns a weird shade. One hair turned a weird shade when you get older, so yeah. So it happened to be a very convenient name. Then the other one happened to be named Boruto. Then eventually you also have a daughter with Hinata, and that daughter with Hinata happened to be named Himawari. As he has twins, and then he has 2 sons and 1 daughter. Or how about this? He has 2 twin sons, Boruto, Ichigo, then triplet daughters, being Yuzu, Karin, and Himawari. As Karin's a friend he found after raiding Naruto's bases, but eventually he did get sick and died. So, yeah. So Karin is named after his friend. I haven't been another Uzumaki. Not Uzumaki, but Naruto isn't Uzumaki, but he has black hair. Keep in mind his name is Kurosaki, but he's technically an Uzumaki. But yeah. But this, we go on probably just to probably just Boruto, where Naruto's soul is literally everyone. He is about as strong as a soldier can get. He's measured Bankai. He's measured over Naruto's abilities, which he didn't do until he was 20. This Naruto kind of solos everything in existence at this point. Like he's beyond Yamamoto levels of power by the time he's in his 30s. Like he looks a lot like adult Naruto and like Isshin. Like Naruto can just carry his verse on his back, literally. He's a planetary level threat. He destroys everyone. Like Shinichi Sasuke's training with Itachi and everything, getting EMS, getting Sharingan, getting Rinnegan, but then also learning a few techniques from Naruto, he got stronger. So he's actually able to kill Shinichi by himself. And then we move on to like the next foe being like well, the next thing probably being like maybe who knows, like I have to think really hard about this, honestly. Probably like Momoshiki and Kinshiki. But Sasuke doesn't help with them, but then they made Konoha. Naruto appeared behind them both with his sword pointed forward, with the Shikai drawn, and they both hit the ground dead. That was it. And the winner of the shooting exams happened to be his son Ichigo. Boruto still cheated, so went to Ichigo by default. Karin and Yuzu were doing good, but Sarada beat them. No, they're kids. Sarada would have beaten them both either way. They're not that strong. Himawari has a Byakugan. The other 2 don't have Byakugan. Well, Karin has Byakugan in one eye. He usually doesn't have Byakugan, but she has really strong chakra reserves. She's also being trained to be a samurai by Naruto. And for Ichigo. But, yeah. Basically, the syntax for Naruto's kids happens to be Ichigo and Karin. No, Ichigo and Yuzu go to Naruto. Boruto happens to be, mainly doing things with Sasuke. Then Himawari and Yuzu are usually trained by Hinata or by their grandfather. So, yeah. Yeah, so we go on now basically just to like but we go on now to like Jigen. But when it came to Kawaki shares a room with Boruto and Ichigo. Their room is big enough to fit them. And Naruto kind of just solo Jigen that Jigen arrived. Well, first Delta, but then the Delta attacked Naruto. He was just like watching his kids train, wearing like a black t-shirt, sweatpants. Then the Delta attacked. Naruto just impaled her through the face and killed her. That was about it. That's as simple as it got. Kachikoji is in the village because Jiraiya is currently living. Naruto killed Nagato in 2 years that he had to train. Then we have like Jigen actually attacking Konoha, but Naruto cleared out Jigen in seconds. Jigen isn't too strong. And Boro was killed by Ichigo, Kawaki, and Boruto, and Sarada and Mizuki. Basically, Naruto's 3 sons and the Uchiha killed Boro. And plus the snake kid. Then we go on forward now to like just actually before Boro would be Jigen. But Naruto was a bit lost in the dimension, and Boro had to try to detain him. The kids followed Boro and defeated him. And when they were able to escape, Naruto left. And, Jigen barely survived, though. Then Jigen came back to one of the ones as Ishiki. But he brought Code with him, and Code had his limiter removed. Then they also brought Ada's brother and Ada herself. Kind of brought any asset they had. But Naruto just used Bankai and erase them from existence. Simple as that. And this Bankai cannot be countered back at him. It is simply just too strong. Once it was countered back at him, he wouldn't care because he's almost immune to any form of damage. So, it wouldn't matter. He'd be immune to his own damage. That's the benefit of being him. So he kind of just sold Kara and the Akatsuki. Hope you guys enjoy this What If. Like, subscribe for more. Adios.